Hey everybody, Jay Barino here, welcome back. Starting a new custom campaign showcase for Warcraft 3. And this is an alternate version of the base campaigns, because that's what people seem to be into these days. I figure let's give this a shot. This is the Prologue campaign, but it's Exodus of the Alliance as opposed to Exodus of the Horde. So it is a race swap campaign. I am traveling when this video is going to be released, so some of these videos are going to be short. I sort of apologize, but I did need to build a quick backlog before leaving. So again, some of these early missions, of course, are going to be short, but let's just take it all in and enjoy the idea of the race swap. So this is the alternate version of Exodus of the Horde. It's created by Zatanth87. People are really into this idea, like, well, normally you play as the Globbledy-Glops, and now you're playing as the Fruit Farts. How exciting! Otherwise, the maps are basically the same. So, I think in this case, the faction you play as is different. The faction you play against is also different, so that's interesting. And then also, based on where you are in the world, the tile sets will be different than the original maps. I guess this cinematic has been remade in-game, so let's check it out and see what it's all about. The sands of time have run out, son of Durotan. The cries of war echo upon the winds. The remnants of the past scar the land. Which is besieged once again by conflict.
Attack!
Villains arise to challenge fate and lead their minions to battle. So instead of heroes, as the living and the dead rush blindly towards their doom. So vanilla orcs are replaced with humans. The burning shadow comes to consume us all. And vanilla orcs are replaced with undead. You must rally the Alliance and lead your people to their destiny. Seek me out. Somewhere in the Arathi Highlands, Thrall, the elderly lord of the human and elven alliance, wakes from his troubling dream. So it's still Thrall, named Thrall, but it's going to be a person, like a human. It's Antonidas?
What kind of nightmare was that?
And also shares the same voice lines. It was not a nightmare, Archmage, but a vision. Follow me and I will reveal what your future holds. So sometimes it's got voice lines and sometimes it doesn't.
I don't know what this is all about, but I'll play along.
And yeah, this is definitely a different tile set.
Well,
For sure as well. So we're Archmage Thrall. Archmage? Archmage. Okay, well we got our water elemental. Interesting. So really what this comes down to is, like, if the maps are basically the exact same except the races are swapped, that's fine. I really enjoy Synergy's race swap campaigns. I feel like there's like a fun flavor to those. It makes them feel very fresh and unique. Even though, again, it's like, well, it's a race swap, you'd think, but I think maybe StarCraft 2 has a little more to offer in terms of swapping the races, in my opinion. So, I don't know, we'll see how this goes with the Warcraft 3 ones. I've been wanting to check this out for some time. Well met, soldiers. We are yours to command, my lord. See, interesting thing here, too, in the original you get 3 grunts, which are notably better than footmen. Like, they're basically, like, for lack of a better description, they're like 1/3 better. Like, a grunt is 1/3 better than a footman.
Prepare yourselves. I sense a knoll ahead.
Alright, get in there. I guess I didn't need to spend any of that mana to get that water elemental out. Jay Barrino not maximizing his mana usage.
But the knoll's camp lies just ahead.
The fact that it's like it's Thrall's voice acting is so strange. Well, they were attacking the water elemental for a while there. Which one is Thrall himself attacking? I guess it doesn't really matter that much, does it? Brilliant Sword doesn't really seem that important here. Yep, spread damage. That's the way to play. It's the new age of Jay Barrino. Let's just grab Blizzard. I think Blizzard's actually quite good. And, again, with this faction, Brilliant Sora really isn't going to matter until Mission 3 or 4 anyway, so... Well, wait, no, this is the prologue. I was thinking back, like, as if it was the human campaign. You know, you get priests in, what, Mission 3 or 4? I think 3? I don't even remember anymore. But even then, like, it's not super necessary to have Brilliant Sora. But we're also not going to have this hero in the human, what was typically the human campaign. The human campaign, I believe, is called Overgrowth of Lordaeron? Overgrowth? But it looked like in the...
We've discovered a group of Murloc raiders in the nearby river.
It looked like humans were replaced with undead. Whereas the name Overgrowth of Lordaeron would make me think that you would play as the Night Elves in that situation. I don't know. I guess we'll find out when we get there. I don't plan on necessarily going from one campaign to the next. I just wanted to go ahead and play this prologue to kind of get a sense of how interested people would be to see the playthrough of the race swap Warcraft 3. Also, every campaign is not complete. It's not made yet. I think Overgrowth of Lordaeron is done, and I think the one after that, what was the vanilla Undead campaign, is done. If the creator is in the comments, they can, you know, let us know, but I don't know offhand. But in any case, I will probably not go straight into Overgrowth of Lordaeron after this, but I will circle back to and complete all the race swap campaigns. Again, assuming people are intrigued and interested in them, and if I also have fun playing them, which I suspect I will, because I think the original maps are pretty well crafted. So, if all you're doing is swapping the faction you're playing as and the faction you're playing against, otherwise the maps are quite sound.
Be wary, my warriors. Don't let nightfall
The other thing to take into consideration is the difficulty. I don't know if the difficulty would have been modified at all from what is the original game. So, like, normal difficulty, I don't know if that would be comparable, per se, to normal difficulty of the base game. Or maybe, like, normal difficulty on Race Swap is, like, hard, comparable to hard on the... You know what I mean? I don't know. So we have to experiment a little bit. If it's unconscionably easy, we'll make sure to go ahead and... If it's unconscionably easy, we'll go ahead and we'll kick it up. Anyway, we also have our fancy pot of healing, so let's just use that. You know, Thrall here. It's weird. I guess am I gonna call him Thrall or am I gonna call him Antonidas? I don't know. I'm sure it'll change as the series goes on. A Tome of Strength doesn't really seem appropriate, but okay. Is that normally what he drops anyway? Jay Barrino not missing a tome? I wouldn't think that guy would have dropped a tome in the original version of the game. But anyway, we'll get a sense of what the difficulty is like. Like, my experience with Synergy campaigns, for example, and I don't want to compare them per se, like, the only similarity there is that they're race swap campaigns, but it's two totally different games, different factions, different ways the difficulty is set, you know, that kind of stuff. It's, you know... But in Synergy's campaigns, I think the difficulties...
Watch yourselves, my brethren. Those creatures do not sleep at night.
...are fairly comparable to what they are in the base game, and then Synergy goes ahead and he, like, makes them... Like, he adds, like, extra difficulty, like, there's, like, a nightmare kind of thing that I've been playing with Grant on stream. You could check those videos out, for example. But yeah, we'll see. And also, like... Just referring to, like, the StarCraft maps, just by default, like, Legacy of the Void Terran Edition is much harder, if only because you don't have global powers. You know, you have the Terran tech tree. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be anything like that in the Warcraft 3 playthrough here, but, like, that's a good example where it's kind of hard to... Yeah, I don't think these normally drop tomes, so that's nice. So maybe the loot has been changed as well. Where the factions are, you know, that are in the base game are the ones that are basically balanced for multiplayer. They're not like super special campaign units in Warcraft 3 like they were in StarCraft 2, which I think makes it, in a way, a bit blander simply by default. But I don't know. Like, maybe as we go on, we'll see changes to the factions in some way. Maybe new skins, different types of units, you know, stuff like that could really spice this up. So I don't know really what to expect. I'd be curious to hear what, you know, your thoughts on what could make this... you know, super interesting to you, etc., etc. Okay, let's get to it. Forest trolls, we must kill these beasts. Oh gosh, we don't have defend. Get out of there. That's nice that they're attacking the water elemental. See, it's because I'm playing on, I think, what is considered normal difficulty. They don't change their aggro onto, like, the lowest health unit. They'll just attack what grabs their attention straight away. Yeah, 3 tomes here right in the first mission. That's fancy. So it seems like, I mean, that's something that really would keep things interesting for me as well, is the idea of different loot, more interesting things to explore, and, like, better rewards. I mean, this is only the prologue campaign, so there's only 5 missions in it, and, you know, by the end of it, it's not like it's ever been so difficult that what you pick up has been particularly important, but... It's possible that could be saved as we get to what was originally the Orc campaign. I don't know if that one's been completed yet or not, though. All right, let's go. We kept our 3 footmen alive. Medivh is still just the human/crow creature. It'd have been interesting if Medivh was was replaced with an undead unit.
Greetings, son of Duratan. I knew you'd find your way.
It was you I saw in the vision. Who are you? How do you know me?
I know many things, Archmage, about you and your people. My identity at this time is unimportant. What is important is that you rally your people and leave these shores immediately. See, because he has to replace it with Archmage instead of Shaman. My people, what's this all about? Are you not human, or chieftain, or whatever?
I left my humanity behind long ago. I am something different now. Know that I have seen the future and beheld the great burning shadow that is coming to consume this world. You sense it as well, don't you?
The demons are returning.
Yes, and only by leading your people across the sea to the distant lands of Kalimdor will you have a chance to stand against them.
But how could we...
I will answer all your questions in time, Archmage. For now, rally your warriors and prepare to leave this land. We will speak again. None of this makes sense, but I sense that I should trust him. Okay, so 3 things. Number 1, like I said, these first few missions are just going to be really short videos. I could, you know, stick some of them together, but like I said, I have to record a bit of a backlog before leaving, so you get a short one today. I apologize. I know some of you look forward to these release days for a bit, you know, a longer piece of entertainment, but, you know, just bear with me for this and probably the next release also, because that's going to be our first macro mission. But, you know, I hope you enjoy the idea. Let me know your thoughts. Sometimes it's nice having a shorter episode for the first one in a series. It's good to gauge interest and get people's feedback. It's also helpful for the creator to see what people have to say, because more people are likely to watch it if it's a little shorter, at least. But also, next thing I want to say is I think if you can't voice all the lines, I think just go ahead and commit to it and just don't try and, like, throw in the original voice acting for some of the lines and then have to leave it silent for the other ones because you use Archmage. I don't know. That's just my personal thought. Maybe it's because I'm the one who is, like, reading it aloud for a video, so that might that might make me a little biased there. So that's another thing. I'd be curious to hear what viewers' thoughts on that are. Like, just because you can throw in like one voice line, like if you can have like 50% of them voiced from the original, I don't think you necessarily should. You might as well just keep it all without. I don't know. That's hard to say. That's a very subjective thought, but that's my opinion. I think like just don't bother. And then the last thing I'd want to point out is the idea of a race swap campaign is very simple on the surface, but I recognize that it's probably quite difficult to actually implement and create. So I just want to make sure that that does get some credit here. Again, you'd think all you have to do is, all you're doing is, again, quote, race swap. That's what it's called. But again, the tile set's completely changed. I don't know how easy or hard that is to do if you can just completely translate from one tile set to another, or you have to remake it from scratch. That makes it, I can imagine that would make a huge difference in terms of time. I don't know what kind of tools are available to do like a translation from one to the other. But that also you have to, rewrite a lot of the triggers because all the units are different. Again, I don't know if there are tools that you could sort of copy paste from the original to the new, or if it all has to be basically recreated from scratch using the original as a bit of a template. So that's why I say that I think that making this probably is harder than it seems on the surface, and I hope that my duty as a showcaser and kind of knowing a bit of the more behind the scenes stuff than the typical viewer is to be able to share that with some of you all, so that you recognize that it might not be as simple as you initially might think. Now, does that translate to like, oh, therefore this campaign's going to be going to be amazing, it's going to blow your mind? I don't know. We haven't played enough of it yet. Just because something is hard to make doesn't mean it's going to be, incredible. But maybe, I suspect we're going to have a lot of fun with this and kind of seeing which characters have been changed from what to what, and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be kind of the core experience here. I do hope that there's some changes in terms of tech trees, even if it's really minor stuff. I would love to see some unique units or unique skins, anything. Maybe not just skins, but like unique models used for like custom units, anything than just like it's the base human faction, it's the base undead faction. I don't know. I guess, again, that makes it even more complicated. That would make it much more complicated to balance as well. So, I don't know. Just curious to hear what you all think too. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.